Like, brother, you cannot see me gaming. Like, you can't see what's going on.
Do you know I'm creasing?
Why?
Because I broke the code before.
Me too.
But listen. I'm gonna assume
I was 3 Maggys in at
I'm gonna
least.
assume you broke the code the same way that I broke the code.
What? She was feeling you more.
Yo!
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Yes.
We're back in the building.
Yes. Yo, man didn't even wait for the introduction, you know. Man just went straight in for it.
I said, I am here.
Man said, yeah.
I am here.
Yeah,
But
back in London.
unless they know they don't know, innit? So you can still run the intro.
Listen. 2 Maggys in. It's your boy Jay here right now.
And it is your boy Jay Montel. Well, sorry, not Jay Montel. It's your boy Montel.
Trying
One
to be-
half of Jay
trying to
Montel.
be me?
Sorry, bro. I had too much Maggys last night, bro.
Oh.
It's kicking in right now.
listen.
But I had to do some push-ups, everything.
Listen, last night, I know you weren't really there though,
Yeah,
but you're there
yeah.
in spirit still.
I mean, I was, but I wasn't at the same time.
Yeah. But you know, you are me and I am you. So wherever
True
I
say,
am, you are.
true
do you know what I
say,
mean?
true
But
say,
let me tell you,
true
Shoreditch
say.
House last night,
Vibes. Say no
vibes.
more.
The boy
Say
Donch was
no
killing it
more.
on the decks as well.
Man, like Donch.
But-
Donch kills it everywhere he goes.
Yeah,
still.
yeah, he does.
Can't even lie.
But let's forget that. And let's announce who's in the room today.
Listen,
Do
we
you know
got
what
a
I mean?
special guest
Come on.
here in the building today. We're actually in his spot right now. Lovely view, I must say. Thanks for welcoming us in your apartment right now. We are with the one, the only, Jovan. Wait, make some noise. Hey, listen, you know the ones where you don't even need to say what man was on. The name is enough.
Yeah,
you get it?
Facts, bro. Facts, energy,
It's
man.
one of those ones.
fellas.
What you saying, though, bro?
Yeah.
You been good?
I've been great. I've been amazing. First of all, amazing to be in London. It's been a little minute, so it's nice to be here. It's nice to be amongst family, and it feels exactly the same. But every time I come back, there's a different energy about me that makes it feel different. You know what I mean?
A new beast that you unlock each time.
Yeah.
level.
And I almost find that it's quite therapeutic because it like I was saying the other day to one of my boys that, and I was saying it to you as well, Jay. I spoke to you about it before, but when I used to go to LA, I used to have to rent a car, get the Airbnb, blah, blah. And it's literally, flipped on its head where every time I come back to London now, I have to rent a car or get an Airbnb.
Crazy.
And
Crazy.
so it starts making me feel, the more that takes place, the more you start kind of realizing and feeling where you're actually at and the fact that,
Does London still feel like home, or is America more home to you? Obviously, now you've had that flip. Does that make it feel a little bit different? Do you not feel as home here now, or are you like alienated at all? Or?
No, I would say London still feels like home, but it just doesn't feel like my habitat.
Okay,
That
I feel you.
Like I also feel very at home in LA, and LA feels like home to me as well. But London, being where I'm from, will always feel like home. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like where I'm able to present my best self, where I'm able to be my best self, and thrive the most. So it still feels like home, but just the habitat doesn't quite
feel the same.
Do you
yeah.
think if you had a house here, it would feel like home?
No.
Okay.
No.
Headspace is that like
What you mean feel like my habitat? It feels like home.
Yeah.
You mean like feel like my habitat?
like you live here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Crazy.
And it's not because of like that doesn't make a difference. It's where it's my peace. Where I feel most at peace.
Yeah.
And just based on my purpose, based on where I want to be, based on what I want to be doing, that LA currently is what provides me that and what gives me the best opportunity at feeling like my full self or feeling like the person that I need to be, So that's what home is really. Home is where the heart is.
Do you know what?
You know what I mean?
I can't even lie. I love when you come back to London.
Nah, it survives still.
Because we're in the ends. Like when we go LA, you're showing us spots. We're going spots, when you come back to London, we're going everywhere. This is ends, you know what I'm saying?
Going back to what you were saying though about habitat, and like London, the difference between London and LA especially, what is it that makes London not the place for you? Not that it's anything negative at all.
No,
but
one thing I would say the weather.
Okay,
weather.
bro.
Facts, bro.
some people don't mind, but for me, the sun makes a huge difference in my life. Just
your
my
mood.
mood, how I feel, feeling like the best version of myself.
Outfits.
Yeah, 100%. Like I like to be in shorts and t-shirt or shorts and a vest or whatever.
Wait, what are you saying? Do you prefer the summer swag over the winter swag, or do you like the winter swag over the summer swag?
No, I prefer the summer swag.
Yeah.
On an everyday basis.
I hear you.
But I love the opportunity to have
layer
the
it
winter
up.
swag. And that's why I love when I'm in Atlanta, because I get that opportunity there. I get the full season, I get the rain, I get the...
When Atlanta's cold.
It's cold,
Yeah.
You think it's colder than London though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. I think it.
What's colder? Oh,
When London is blitz, I don't know if it's colder than...
Do you know what it is?
I didn't feel like a man was gonna die in London.
But when London's cold, I feel like I'm in Oliver Twist, rude boy.
Yeah.
I feel
Like,
freezing.
I don't feel like I've ever been... that's based on the time that I'm there. But no, I've been there in November, January, and I've never felt like my hands being so cold to the point where like I have to put them in my pockets. Like that's what I feel like in London. I get that in London, you know. So
there was a couple times though. I think it was in October, in Atlanta, but maybe I was just wearing the wrong.
You might
attire.
not have been prepped.
You see when you stepping out and do I need a hoodie? Do I need a jacket?
When you're
Just go out in
traveling,
t-shirt.
When you're traveling and you got one suitcase, like you're not sure like how much coats can I fit in?
Yeah.
How much
exactly.
kicks can I fit in?
That's why I was messaging you lot so much. Yo, what's the weather like here? Like, do I need a coat? Because see if I bring a big coat and it takes up half my suitcase or not.
Bro,
you know?
literally, the day you came, it just went mad cold though.
Bro.
It wasn't this cold.
Is it?
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't this
But I
cold.
wouldn't even say this is cold. This is
Bro,
cash.
do you know what's funny? We went to breakfast today, and what do you think we were wearing?
What, hoodies?
And
What, jackets?
No. What
what's
outfit?
on the bottom half?
Hoodies and shorts?
Yeah, bro. Hoodies and shorts. And that's the perfect, like, that's
That is
what
a
I wanna be.
perfect combo,
Yeah.
though.
Good, bro.
Yeah.
Because your legs can breathe a little.
Yeah.
And then the hoodies just...
Yeah, comfy. Yeah.
That's it. There was one time in Atlanta, I think it's actually Christmas Eve, where the hailstones, I've never seen hailstones like that in my life. They were so big that they were like ice cubes.
Bloody
Like
hell.
to the point where if you was out there, like it was probably dangerous. You could
Man
probably
said
knock
it's
you
like
out.
paintballing.
Yeah.
I went outside and just to show people, I put a cup and I collected some of the hailstones and I put water in it and it looked like I had a drink of ice. They were like ice and water.
Mad.
Yeah, they were massive. I'd never seen hailstones like that before.
I'm convinced that place has some juju curse on it, fam.
What,
The
America?
weather they get is stupid, bro.
Yeah, man,
it's
bro, America's
torrential
mad though,
storms.
bro.
Fam.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
man said ice cubes.
What's the weather like in I know you've been to New York. You've been to New York throughout different seasons or like
Yeah, New York is blitz as well, but New York is just an exaggerated version of London. Like it's like
Okay.
it has all the seasons, but New York when it's summer, it actually is summer. It's mad hot, but when it's winter,
well, like
it's,
LA hot when it's summer.
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah,
Okay.
in
That
summer.
must be clammy,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
That's
But it's a
mad
little bit.
still.
It can be a little bit humid, but not as humid as Atlanta or the South.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no beach. I'm not bugging. There's no beach near New York, is there? So it's just city
No,
and
it's in the
just hot.
city. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to go out to find a beach.
But
Yeah.
at least they got aircon there though.
This is my problem with
Yeah.
the UK.
Bro.
Because when it's hot, bro,
yeah.
we're not acclimatized for it. Like,
Nah.
there's no AC in shops, in
no-
your yard.
Yeah.
Nowhere, bro.
Like, you got to buy them little fan things and they ain't doing nothing.
The only time you get AC in London is when you walk into the corner shop and you go, as soon as you enter in.
Yeah.
you
It's just a
stand next
walkway,
to-
though. It's just a walkway.
Unless you're in
like-
Tesco's, the freeze of it.
Yeah. No, Tesco's is patterned. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Commercial
facts.
shops there.
Facts still.
Commercial shops. Talking about LA weather
Mm-hmm.
and just LA in general, obviously, we see you in the gym, my bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think that might be a reason why you love the weather.
Yeah.
Because you look so good right now.
Trying.
What keeps you motivated to stay in shape, man?
I think health. Health. Like when I was younger, it used to just be like you got to have a six pack. Like that was, you know
That's
what I
it.
mean? Like you want to have a six pack.
Yep.
And then as you start to get older, you start to realize, you need to actually be healthy, and increasing your heart rate on a daily basis actually keeps the blood flow. It keeps your blood thin, etc., etc.
Makes sense.
And so, yeah, I want to stay young as possible, live as long as possible, and be as healthy and be able to do all of the things that I want to do. I even think about my work. Like I love doing, stuff in the action space, and I love, combat, stunts, etc., etc. And I want to be able to do those things as long as possible.
We saying you run your own stunts?
I was gonna hear you said stunts.
Anything that won't kill me.
Okay.
That's where the line is drawn. Yeah, combat, fighting,
We say swimming things. Would you do swimming thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
On a
What, like,
scale of
jump,
1 to
jump
10.
off the boat, like the boat's exploding.
Yeah, I've done
the maddest one you've done?
I've done some like some stuff in the water. I don't want to give stuff away, but I've done some stuff in the water. Some
Yeah,
stuff people are gonna see coming up. Yeah.
Sick.
And the maddest thing is, obviously, I couldn't swim until just
Headline,
like a couple of years ago.
Van Wade,
But you know,
chewing his own stuff.
you know what the president I set for myself was when I got to LA and I bought my house and it had a swimming pool. I said, there's no way that I can be in the swimming pool and have a swimming pool and I can't swim. And that actually motivated me to learn how to swim. Yeah.
Did you get an instructor or did you just learn yourself?
No, just learn myself.
I need to get involved in that one still.
Yeah, just
No, I can swim a little.
Do you remember when we was in LA?
Yeah.
He was in the pool.
Man wouldn't come to the deep end. Yeah.
Man's all just paddling like that.
You know what's funny though, yeah? Like when you grew up, was you taught how to swim?
So I learned.
You went in school?
So I went Spain once. I was about 9 years old, and my dad just taught me to swim. Like one day, he was just like, yeah.
And if he didn't, you probably wouldn't know right now.
I think I would have learned in school because when I went to obviously I went 3 primary schools. When I went to the last one, it was a bit more a nicer primary school.
What borough? Bromley borough.
Bromley, yeah.
Yeah, mine was in Lewisham still.
Yeah, we didn't do those swim lessons. If we did swim lessons in school, we would have learned from young.
Yeah.
And that's what it deprives you. And then they're like, oh, like, you know, the whole thing about, a lot of black kids can't swim.
Yeah.
That's because a lot of black kids grow up in a lot of poor
Boroughs.
areas where we don't have the privilege of swimming when you're a kid.
Facts.
And so you don't learn how to swim.
Yeah,
I think a lot of things that we are like unequipped to do is due to lack of opportunity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
facts.
100%.
And it's mad because like even now, like with my son Mello, I take him swimming every Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I just knew growing up, before I could swim when I was a kid, I didn't want to go in the pool. And it's like I don't want him to have that
thing,
thing
bro.
of like, oh, I'm afraid of water.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean?
Bro, the
It's
only
long.
reason why you don't get, like, when I go on holiday, I think twice about going in the water sometimes because I could die.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm on a jet ski and you fall off, I need help.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro, I remember when I went to Turkey. And when I went to Turkey, like I went with the man them, and there was like a group of girls that we linked up with. We started chatting to.
Yeah.
We're all at the sea, by the sea, and we're all talking. The vibes there. I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, I'm feeling this one. I start talking to her, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, let's go out, let's go for a swim. And then them man are swimming out deep. Everyone's swimming out deep. I'm stood there, and there's nothing I can do about it.
You have to think like, at this point, do I go and risk my life for this thing?
Yeah, is it worth it? Yeah, it's not worth it. But by the time they've swum out now, they're all there for like 15 minutes. They get to the little ball that you see at the end. It's like, let's go to the ball. They get to the ball and they're all jamming, they're chatting about
the ball?
Yeah, by the ball, yeah.
ball, that's
Exactly, it's even
far,
further,
bro.
yeah. That's like, don't go as far, don't go further than this.
That's really saying, don't come near me, bro.
Yeah. And they've gone down there, spent like 10 minutes there. By the time they got back, the thing's onto my brethren. I lost out, you know what I mean? So
and more time it's your bedroom saying, yo, let's go deep because he knows that you can't swim.
Yeah. Tactical.
I didn't even deep it
Tactical,
like that.
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Tactical. Man, them are treacherous.
The man, them are treacherous, bro.
So there's a lot of things where, you know what I mean, swimming comes into it. But yeah, I want to be able to do, stunts. I see myself doing all that stuff, you know what I mean, all the Mission Impossible stuff, jumping off of this and that. And
what, like Tom Cruise flying planes and that?
one day I want to learn. Yeah, I want to learn as much as I can.
That would be sick.
Again, just as long as I can't die from it. And do all of that stuff. And swimming was a big part of that. And I don't want to feel, self-conscious or anything like that, or not be able to do certain things. Or there was even roles that I would read, and I would see. Like there was one audition I went for, and he was a swimmer. This is when I couldn't swim, and I was like, just as a byproduct of needing, like certain, obviously you got your stunt double, but certain things they're gonna have to be able to do, tread water or whatever, like, and I couldn't do that. So I'm like, I can't do this role. And like, imagine that, you know what I mean?
It's
so
mad,
jarring.
yeah.
I can't.
One little thing can limit you in so much different
Yeah.
areas.
I can't lie. The one thing for swimming for me is just being on a boat party and just jumping off the boat. I always wanted to do that, and I can't do that right now.
A part of me though is I can swim, innit? But
When you start the sentence like that,
no, I wanna. Like, I wanna
good
do
swimmer.
it.
Do you do it? Yeah, you're a very good swimmer. Do you do that?
I'm fearful of it a bit.
swear.
Right.
More though, I'm just not a fan of fish in the water.
What?
Do you know why?
Fish.
Not fish, but I'm
Not
feeling
shark.
when I see. That's what I'm saying. When I see fish swimming around, I think, how far can a shark be?
If
From this
there's fish
If there's
here.
fish here,
Yeah.
where's the shark at?
Yeah, no, I hear
Or
you.
a sting, bro.
I hear
I
you.
even think a stingray.
Yeah.
When we was in Miami, bro, when I went with KG and George, they saw a stingray, bro, right by our yard.
Yeah.
That's mad.
When I was on a jet ski.
Cousin Gregory was telling me about the story where he went out on jet skis and like in Miami, like there's a bit where I can't remember what it's called, but basically where the sea meets the river and there's like a massive like almost like whirlpool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he's on a jet ski. And he's with his girl, and they basically come off of the jet ski. When they come off the jet ski, he's basically trying to get her back on the jet ski because it's capsized.
Yeah.
And then as he's trying to get her on, he's gone underwater, and when he's gone underwater, he just sees about 6 or 7 sharks, bro, all swimming around. Yeah, and he said that sharks have swam past him, like to the point where they've brushed along his legs, and he just had to sit there and hope and pray, but only because there were so many fish that were there in the whirlpool that they didn't go for him instead, and they were occupied by the fish.
God is good.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy.
It's mad.
Not like I'm scared of one shark. 6 sharks.
Yeah.
Just the water in general, though, bro.
Yeah.
How far that goes down and stuff.
Yeah, it's peak.
There's more. The earth is deeper in water than it is at land.
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah.
You man drink tap water?
I don't
drink tap water now.
No, what?
Government
Like
juice.
your whole life kind of thing, or like what?
No,
what age?
like more like over the last, I would say like 6-7 years.
What age is it? Oh, so
Since I went to America, really.
what's the reason why you stopped drinking tap water?
Because it's not good for you.
Okay.
Like the amount of chemicals and the amount of
It's recycled pee.
yeah. It's
Come on, bro.
It basically is though.
No
yeah,
way.
it's all of the water that is just in the system that is then cleaned out by all these chemicals. Even if it's cleaned out by chemicals.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have these chemicals in your body, and
The
also
best water is spring.
and also the pineal gland. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But
There's like
Tap water.
high
Interesting
levels
stuff.
of estrogen in tap water. Like there's
Yeah,
bad stuff
yeah.
in tap water that Mexican.
I only stopped drinking it a year ago when I moved to Kent. Kent water,
nasty.
bro. I put it in my water bottle, left it for like how long? Like an hour and a half.
turn to Coca-Cola.
The thing just stunk. What? Like it stunk, bro.
Yeah, it's the chemicals,
Bro, I
bro.
was like, what's going on here? It was mad. It's
mad.
It was mad still. But
Go on, run it.
now I was gonna say like we got you here, bro. It's like we can talk to you about a load of things, but
Yeah.
before we even get into like what you actually do, like how you started with the acting stuff, I wanted to ask. Obviously, you spoke about the LA and the gym stuff. Like, how was the gym journey in terms of the Wade's World app that you created, and how that's going out there, man?
Yeah. No, man. The whole journey. I think like the real kind of transition for me. I've always been in the gym, and like when I went to the Brit school, like me and my boy Chesney was in the gym every day. That's really how we connected. And we was in the gym like as much as we could be. And I just fell in love with just working out. And then, but I was really inspired before that point from my boy Ellis, Zorro,
Easy
who
work.
we went to watch last night. And
Big win.
he was the first person that really got me onto working out and just like push-ups and just kind of getting into that space. And off the back of that, the confidence is what was built. And seeing the confidence that comes from working out and from gym and just from, feeling strong, feeling good and, look good, feel good. And that was really the kind of, catalyst. And then I would continue that. And then, but the real transition for me was definitely when I got the role of CYBORG, and it demanded me to have to then change my body in order to play that character and fit that character. And it's mad because I'm like, people are like, oh, you put on a lot of weight. And because it's been over such a gradual time, I never really clocked how much weight I actually put on.
Right.
And I then watched back The Purge. And when I watched The Purge, and I see how
skinny.
slim,
Compared to now,
exactly.
bro.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, raw. And by the time I had started playing Vic, it was only a year since that had come out since that point.
You
And
went ham still.
yeah, and
actually went ham.
I put on a lot of muscle, and that was the real kind of transition and what fed me and allowed me to kind of build into that. So I met my personal trainer Lorenzo Everhard when I was out in Atlanta training for that role, and I remember like interviewing like a load of different PTs, and I asked a load of different people like, oh, like, do you know any good PTs out here in Atlanta? And also production sent me a bunch of PTs as well.
Oh, what, you had like an interview process to find your PT?
Yeah.
That sounds so
mad.
crazy.
Coming like 2K,
I've never thought
fam.
about it. For me, just send someone a DM. Oh, you be my PT.
Yeah.
Or you're in the gym and someone's like,
You know
hey,
it is.
I can train you.
When you got to be with someone every day,
Yeah.
like it's also
important.
about the actual person,
Support.
because I knew
Because-
that person was going to become a friend because of how much time we're going to spend
It
together.
was work as well, innit? Like,
What do you mean?
Like, when you were doing the cyborg role,
Did they pay for it?
Did they pay for your PT?
Yeah, well, like production, they help
Yeah,
cover.
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you were getting paid. Like someone was paying to. The company
get
was
shape.
paying somebody to train you.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's cold.
That's
stuff.
actually
So
sick.
it's a requirement, isn't it? For the role, you know. It's like if you got to learn how to ride a horse, you're not going to go pay for your own horse riding lessons
Yeah,
for that
of
role
course,
of,
of
you know,
course.
Getting
playing the
paid
night.
work out, that's
So off the back
crazy.
of that, I met Lorenzo, but I had been recommended to Lorenzo by someone else, and then production sent me their list. Oh, these are all the PTs we recommend in LA, and his name was the only name that got recommended to me by some of my brethrens that also was by production. So I read that as a sign, and then and I remember after that, then speaking to him, I was like what, like how do I know that you're gonna, you know what I mean, get me in shape and he just said, bro, like look at me. and that's like he's an advertisement for himself, and it's like if you know how to do that for yourself, then of course you know how to do that for me. And from then we built an amazing relationship. Started building out my body, started building out everything to do with, you know, fitness, and then it got to the point where we said, okay, cool, well, let's actually do this for other people. And it's a great case study of what you've done for me. There's so many other people that we can teach, that we can help, and then that's what inspired the Ways Workout with Train Ever Hard app. And now we got our own fitness app that gives you personal meal plans, personal workouts, and everything you need to get the desired body that you want for yourself.
App's really good though, because
Cold,
when I was doing it, what it really helped me to do is gain a good form.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times you go and someone's like, all right, do these workouts, bang it out in the gym, you'll be hench. But with the videos and like it's showing you physically, like, okay, this is what you need to do, and you're describing, like, to get a good form, do this.
Yeah.
It changed my whole gym experience.
Yeah.
And that's when I started just getting bigger, because it's like, oh, okay, I'm actually doing this for this reason, and I need to time under tension, so I need to make sure I can track my muscle this way, or put even just the slight adjustments of holding a weight.
Yeah.
It just changes
Everything.
Yep.
Everything.
So it's mad that it's good actually that, you know what I mean, you was able to be trained by him and then create something to help others.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big part of what you do, not just in obviously with the app, but in other parts of your life. You always seem like you want to give back to people.
Yeah.
What part of you, or what happened in your life for that to be such a thing? Do you know what I mean? Like, was it what you saw around you, or was it like an experience that you had of where you gave back to someone and how it made you feel? Like, what was that trigger point in your life that made you that type of person?
It's a good question. I don't think I've ever actually been asked that question in that way, which is very rare because I've answered a lot of questions over the time.
Come on.
I think I don't actually think it was anything specific. I think it was just something that God put in me. I think it's part of my purpose. Like when you do things, or when you have a will to do something and you don't know why you have that, then you just got to put it down to just God and just purpose, you know? And I've never really thought about, someone helped me in the past. And so like, I really want to help someone else. Like a lot of the stuff that I've done and the way that I've built my life and my career and everything has been just kind of trial and error and trying to work things out, as opposed to someone being like, oh, look, and so that, even in that, it's probably kind of what inspired me, because it's like, oh man, if I had someone that could have just given me X, Y, and Z, or just like, had a platform when I created Man Them on the Wall, or had like, an opportunity for X, Y, and Z, then it would have been so much easier for me. Why did no one do that when you can do that? I can do that. Why wouldn't I do that? I'm going to do that. Yeah. So that's that's probably the logic that kind of comes, and
It's funny because I remember back in, when did you start Man Them on the Wall again? 2010?
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
And I remember when you was messaging everybody on Facebook.
Yeah. Bro, I've still got messages now on my Facebook. Yeah, of people that aired me, 100%. Or what happens is they'll pop up to say something. Oh, watched your film. We loved you in The Purge. Or love you Doom Patrol, whatever it is, or Doctor Who, whatever. And then I'll look at the last message. Hey, and I remember the message so well because I sent it so many times. Hey, blah, blah, blah. How's it going? Hope you're well. I just wanted to see if you'd be willing to check out my new series. I'd love you to watch it and share if you like it. Yeah. Just show some support. Much love. And then it just complete airtime. No response, no nothing. And then the next message is, oh, hey, man, I'm going to be in LA. Would love to hang out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean,
so funny how it just starts like that.
It
always starts like that.
It always starts like that.
Always. Yeah. There's always going to be people that are going to air you.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important for you. You have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Because no one's going to believe in you. And also at the same time, why should they?
I was gonna ask you, do you blame people
No.
for the airage?
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I don't blame them for the airage, but at the same time, like, because you did air me,
yeah.
now, like, live
Reap
with
what
that,
you sow,
you know
innit?
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there were some people that were just out of kindness of their heart. Oh yeah, like I'll check it out, and no, this is actually sick. I'd love to share this. Or you know what, I didn't even really enjoy it. I didn't really get it, but like, you're doing your thing. Maybe someone on my friends list might like it. Let me just share it. And so people, you know, but I don't blame people that don't, because you have to believe in yourself, and that's what you then manifest to get to the point where people see what it is that you're going so mad about. Because obviously, if you see something for yourself and you know that you can achieve that thing, then it exists, but it's not manifested, and so it's only in your mind. And then there's the time and the point between that manifestation, which is the knowing part, which allows you to then manifest it, for them people to then see what actually is taking place, and then off the back of that, now it's tangible, and people need to see things in order to be able to believe them. That's just kind of, you know, just the laws. Not many people are able to connect on a metaphysical level or on a spiritual level, and belief is not enough. You look at a bottle of water, you don't believe that if you turn that bottle of water upside down, water's going to come out of it. You know that. And the difference between believing and knowing is manifestation. And that's where we all have to get to. We all have to get to a point of knowing, not believing. The strongest level of belief is knowing, and then that thing will manifest.
And it's like, it's mad, because when you actually deep it, we have the power to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, literally, this building was put here by humans.
Yeah.
So the moment it's a thought, it's like, cool, I want to. Well, the moment you think it, okay, it can be achieved.
True.
But it's so true in the knowing part, because once you then know, okay, it's actually possible.
Yeah.
Not just do you move in the right way, but the universe then starts moving and shaping everything around.
There's also something that happens with the act, because when you know something, you act upon it. If you just believe, or you just think, or then you don't act upon it. But if you knew that if you went to I don't know, Venezuela, and at this point of location X, Y, and Z, there was £5 million sitting there, you'd be on a flight right now. But you don't know, so you would not, you know? And so that's the level, that's the point. And there's also, like, I came to that realization when I realized that there was things in my life that I didn't know, because there were things in my life that I did know. So I could feel the difference. And like with my career, I've always been in a sense of knowing, but then like certain things in my personal life, when it comes to relationships and blah, 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 I know what it feels like to know. And I know I don't feel that way about this. So that means I don't know. It means I just have a strong level of belief. And then so I can see and feel the difference. Now, how do we get from that point to belief to then knowing? And you can, you know.
That's interesting, because I was going to ask you. So like, you see when you're going for your goals, and like people always say, you got to see yourself in the final destination. Like, do you have to see yourself in the final destination, or can you see the next step to get to the next step? Or do you break it all down, which is the final destination, if you know what I'm trying to say?
No, I believe you have to see yourself in that final destination.
So you have to create the final destination.
Correct.
Okay.
You have to know where you want to be. What people misconstrue is that you don't have to know how you're going to get there. And people do the opposite. They try and, how am I going to get there? How am I going to get there? You don't even know where you want to be. You don't even know that that's the space that you need to be in. So working at being in that place and knowing where you want to be, and then forget how you're going to get there. Just knowing that you're going to be there means that you will take the actions and the steps in each one by one to get to where you're going to get to. But that's the difference. I believe you have to know where you're going to be.
Listening to what you're saying, it seems like you do a lot of like reflection and self-reflection. What is your process in terms of assessing where you are at, and what are there any tools or things that you do that helps you to even do like a health check on your brain or where you're at, to know, like, cool, like you said, the difference between knowing and when there's things you knew you didn't know, because there's things you knew that you did know. So what do you do to reflect and know, okay, I need to change this or change that? Is it a feeling that you feel? Is it going into this room and realizing, okay, there's a new level that I haven't accessed? What do you do to self-reflect?
I think I've always tried to put myself in the positions of the places that I want to be in to the point that I can. And what I mean by that is, for example, when I couldn't afford certain things, I would go above and beyond a little bit and break my back a little bit, and not enough to the point where I can't eat, but maybe put myself in a bit of a difficult situation to attain an environment that I wanted to be in. So for example, I would book like a hotel which is a little bit more expensive or a little bit nicer than I could maybe even afford, based on the fact that I want to put myself in that environment. Because when you're in that environment and you experience something, I believe that it triggers an emotional response within you that then tells you that, oh, I can have this. And the more that you do that is the more of, let's call it, you know, the no meter, the knowing, the sense of knowing that, okay, that starts to rise on that meter. The more you do these things is the more that you experience enough to know, oh, that I can have that. And I've experienced that. It's like if you've never driven the car of your dreams, get in it, go test drive it, even if you can't afford it, because you tell your brain, oh, like I can have this. I've experienced this now. This is not so far away.
Memory.
Muscle memory, exactly. And these are all little things that allow you to build that. But for me, the main thing is just working out what I want and killing any belief systems that stop me from believing that I can achieve what I want. And then it becomes, okay, well, what do I want to do next? I want to do this. Okay. At that point, then you just do it. Unless you have something in between that says you can't do that. Then I kind of go within myself and say, why do I believe that? Why do I believe that I can't do that? What have I experienced? What am I going through that stops me from thinking that that's something that I can attain? And then I go within that and interrogate that to then get to the point where, okay, that's a lie. That's not true, because I can have that. And then just really and truly, the main thing is just my relationship with God and constantly knowing that I can have all things through Christ and constantly speaking to God and asking for things that I want to attain, and knowing that if it's within purpose, because that's the reason why I'm here, I will be able to attain those things, because I would never be in that position. I'd never be here on earth to pursue that purpose without given the tools that I need in order to be able to do those things. So, you know, God always funds his ideas. If it's something that's in line with what he wants, then just ask. You ask the big man, send a call up, and he'll send it to you. And so that's the
Facts.
Would you say that's how you find purpose for someone that's maybe even listening to this and feels that they don't have a purpose? Do you, number one, feel that everyone has a purpose? And what do you think the route is to finding your purpose?
Yeah, I think everyone does have a purpose. And I think the route to finding your purpose is what are your gifts? What are your tools? Your gifts are your tools, and your tools are your gifts. So if you're a carpenter, then you're going to have certain tools. You're going to have the hammers. You're going to have the penknife. You're going to have all these different things that you need in order to be able to do your job, right? So if you're a chef, you're going to need pots and pans, etc. Yeah. So if I naturally am someone who performs and it comes very natural and I love doing it and it comes natural to me, then that is a gift. That's a tool that I've been given. So that's an idea of direction that, oh, okay, cool. So this must be in line with my purpose because I have this tool. I would never have been given a spade if I wasn't supposed to dig, you know? And so what people get twisted.
It's true when you say it like that still.
Yeah, man. It's like what people get twisted is that when you look at these tools that you have, because they don't believe that they can attain, I don't know, fortune from these things. This can't be it but you can attain fortune from anything. You can always get and always have what you need to attain, as long as you have those skills and you have those tools. So, but how do you? I really enjoy helping people, but I can't make a lot of money from doing that. Yeah, you can.
There's a lot of ways.
There's a lot of ways to do that, but you've already told yourself that you can't. That's the issue. Yeah. So, what are your tools? What do you enjoy? What do you want to do with your time? What do you want to do and don't care if you're paid for it? Those are the things. And what comes naturally, okay, those are my sets of skills. Those are my tools. Yeah. So I must be a X, Y, and Z. Then go and live in that. Go and do that. That's your funding.
Makes sense though.
Makes sense. What would you say is your biggest motivator?
My biggest motivator? My biggest motivator is...
And to top onto that, would you say that you have motivations, or that you've got to the point where you're just disciplined now?
Well, I think your motivation is what gives you your discipline. Because otherwise, why would you be disciplined if you wasn't motivated to achieve or attain something? That's the drive, innit? But I think my motivation is the will to succeed, the will to live in purpose, to do what I was called here to do. My family, my friends, and yeah, but really and truly, it's like the fact that if I'm not here, if I'm not supposed to be here, then why would I be here? So I might as well do whatever it is that I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Otherwise, I might as well not be here anymore.
Yeah,
That's true.
It's kind of like it's kind of weird because it's kind of like a bit of a kind of side answer, but it's like it is as simple as that.
Yeah.
I'm motivated by the fact that if I wasn't doing this, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And also, I believe that if you're not pursuing purpose, and eventually God says, "Okay, cool, come sit next to me then," because what's
rest,
the point?
Take rest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's true.
So yeah, that's what motivates me, pleasing God, and as a byproduct of that, being able to please and help others.
That makes sense,
Big.
bro. Spitting facts still. Can't even lie.
Big. So, talk to me about, obviously, you started off your acting career in theatre, right? Doing Brit School.
Yeah.
First of all, what do you prefer, theatre or film? What challenges you more?
Football, man.
Football.
He's a footballer.
I can't lie, bro.
He's a footballer.
I've said this as well. I feel like if you pushed with football, you probably would have got pro as well. Just because of your mindset.
Yeah.
And you was obviously talented. You played at a high level, but I feel like it was another one of your gifts you had. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, as I was saying, with theatre or film, what do you prefer? Obviously, you're heavily in film now, but what about each one do you like? And yeah, which one do you prefer?
Yeah, I don't think it's about. I don't prefer any of them. I think it's more of a practicality. I think practically, I want the most people to be able to see my work, and I want to impact the most people possible.
Okay.
Naturally, you can only fit 1,000 people in a theatre, but when you have a show or you have a movie, you can touch millions immediately.
With just one piece of work.
Yeah,
you got to do that every other night.
100%. Yeah, exactly.
That's taxing, bro.
And then also based on the lifestyle that I want to live, the things I want to do in life.
There's a limit.
Yeah, there's a limit on how much money you can make when you're in the theatre in comparison to what you make based on television, just based on how it works. The fact that there can only be 1,000 people a night that come to the theatre, but with a movie, you can have millions of people come over a course of a weekend, you know? So I don't prefer any of them to the other, but practically, I sit more within TV and film because of those reasons. But with theatre, that is the mecca. That is like the stage, the theatre. It's like
purest form of actor.
Exactly,
acting.
it's the purest
Pressure on
form.
you, innit?
Yeah,
It's just a one take thing.
Exactly. That's
Bro,
it. It's
I
one
can't
take.
like,
It's
just being
the energy.
Champions League
final.
final.
Yeah.
Feeding off of the audience and like just being in that atmosphere. I feel like there's something with pressure, and like when there's one chance to get it right,
Pressure makes diamonds.
you have those. It's like I call it like a God moment where you could do nothing wrong. I don't know when it's like Champions League finals. There's people that they either make from it or they break from it. And I feel like theatre has that one thing where it's like it's so pure, such a pure art form.
Yeah.
Which obviously film doesn't have that, but at the same time, seeing a great actor, it does something to you. If you love acting and you love film.
I think that one thing I said, like, I could throw back on you guys and say, what's better, the studio or performing live?
Yeah.
They both offer different things. You're in the studio, you got that energy, you create the biggest banger, you send it out, all these people are gonna hear it, or you have an acoustic show where you're performing a couple of songs and there can only be 1,000 people there watching or listening. Like, you get so much out of that, but at the same time, you need to be in the studio making these hits and practically getting your music out there. So, like, that's kind of like, it's the same thing, really.
Do you, obviously, film and theatre, obviously, I'm referring it to football now, but before every game, man gets that butterfly feeling, inside my stomach. But when you do film or theatre, do you get that every time? Do you ever get that at all?
In theatre, I get that every time before you go on stage. And I'm most comfortable when I'm on stage in front of people in that character. Like, everything before that point is that's nervy. When you feel the nerves. That's when you feel that energy, which is good though, because
it's a good thing.
That it means you care.
It means you give it down.
100%.
Before every football game, I gotta have a shit.
Yeah,
I have to have a shit. And if I don't,
Yeah.
It's there with the butterflies. Bro.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
get out. You got to get out.
of
Yeah.
it. Did you have any? Do you even on set now? Do you have any like rituals or things that you do religiously every time before you go to on set? Or is there like a
that's
routine that you
interesting.
have in the morning when you wake up? You need to have your coffee, or need to have like? Is there any routine that you have?
The gym, going to the gym in the morning, which can be peak when you start at 5 a.m. because it means you're in the
Still
gym
go
at
before?
3. Yeah, and that's why the home gym was so clutch because like you lose an hour traveling to and from the gym when you got to go somewhere, but having the home gym allowed me to be able to do that and go to the gym.
Yeah.
You know, early hours.
Wait, you're saying you would go gym at 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
That's a different level of discipline still.
Yeah. Because you're so tired. All right, so put it this way.
Gives you that pump there for the screen.
Yeah. If I've got, but also just how you feel, your endorphins, you know what I mean? Okay. If I've got a 5 a.m. call, it means I'm probably on camera at 7 a.m., right? If I'm on camera at 7 a.m. and then you got like a 14-hour day, 15-hour day, then I'm not going to wrap until, about 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. And then off the back of that, I then got to get out of all my gear. That's going to take about an hour. It's about 10:30, and then I got to drive back from set, which is going to take me a minimum of half an hour. Nice. By the time that all happens, it's 11 o'clock. I then got to wake up the next day early to get to work again, and I don't want to go to the gym now at 11 p.m. after I've done that whole day. I just won't. Yeah. So I know myself, and that's where the discipline comes in. Okay, if I know I'm not going to do it at the end of the day, I have to do it now because it's now or never, right? And it can't be never, so it has to be now.
Facts, bro.
Facts.
Yeah.
Talking about your costume, how long does it take to put on, or like from you getting into the what do they call it?
Makeup.
Green room.
In the chair?
Makeup in the chair.
Yeah, in the trailer.
In the trailer, from when you get in.
Yeah.
To being ready to go on set, how long does that take?
It depends. It depends on if I am full cyborg or if I am Vic, which is experienced at the end of season 3, which is just kind of makeup and then the scars. Yeah. But if it's full, like season 2, once I developed those scars, and I was full cyborg, it probably take about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And then to get into the suit when I get on set, it probably takes about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
What'd you be doing whilst they put it on you? Watching a film or like just chilling?
Just like listening to an audio book or like a lot of the time, that's why I take my business calls.
Makes sense,
like I just have a lot of calls there and catch up with certain things on emails, like you spend, that's why in the industry they say is hurry up and wait. Because you wait around so much, like you get paid to wait around. You do the acting for free, like that's it. So it takes that long at times. It takes that long at times, and so it's
we got Cassidy there.
in the building.
It's all good, my bro. Man, we're just snoring away. You heard that?
Yeah. Have you heard that? It's a warm day. The sun's shining.
Yeah, the sun's shining.
You know when the sun hits you though.
Yeah.
Hey, sun's shining right now. No, keep on my eye. I'm wearing a grey top. Yeah, I was by my side,
brother. The grey top is not a joke.
I stopped wearing grey tops when I hit like year 12.
What you decided to? Just a house top.
I always wear black.
Yeah.
I always wear black when I go out.
Why?
Now I started to wear white.
Just free up yourself.
Never beige, and never grey.
Yeah, beige will kill you. That's one thing that people don't really clock either. Beige will kill you. Beige and grey is the same thing. It's the same formula.
Yeah.
But how do you stop the sweat then?
You just
don't wear beige.
Nah, you see how I bang my headband?
Yeah, you're a headband man.
I'm a headband man. So obviously in every situation. Headband, black, blue, browns. Even brown's a bit peak. But you've never been to the rave. People are dancing up and you look at them, you're like, rah, you're sweating, bro.
Yeah, certain men are doing cardio in the rave.
Yeah.
Serious people ones.
Yeah.
Especially them dancing, man. The man them that dance in the rave.
Yeah.
Like they go
but they come dedicated. They know what it is.
They
like,
might have even bought a spare t-shirt.
Yeah. That's a sport for them.
Yeah. That's the flannel man. I call him the flannel man.
Yeah. You ever been a flannel man in a rave?
Mate. You've been a flannel man a few times.
Nah. When I was younger.
Not dancing flannel man, but you've been a flannel man. Yeah.
There's times where man is sweating.
Yeah.
I have to go outside, refresh. toilet, freshen up.
And that's where it comes into it, where I don't bring a jacket to the rave and I just firm the cold.
It's normally that.
Yeah.
When I want, you
When you want the swag, you want the or even voluntary, where you want the swag to
so
be
much.
so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even yesterday, I kept my jacket on the whole time.
Was you
Just
hot?
for swag.
Huh?
Was you
I
hot?
started getting warm after a certain point, but by that point, I was at the point of no return. It was
Yeah,
like,
'cause you're
you know what?
sweating.
Yeah, I'm already here.
Bro, we got into
might-
Shoreditch House and Alex goes, "Oh, should I put my jacket in the closet?"
In the cloak room.
I said, if I was you, I would.
Yeah.
We go upstairs now and he goes, "I'm gonna go down and put my jacket."
Yeah,
It's
you need
always
to.
hot in the places, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, man.
It's
immense.
always
peak.
hot in the places.
peak.
I wanted to ask you, what's your in acting? Obviously, you've done many roles. You've done The Purge, obviously starting from Man Them on the Wall, Shiro's Story,
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Come on, man.
EastEnders.
Yay.
What would you say was your most challenging role? Number one, and number two, what was your favorite role, or has been your favorite role?
I would say my most challenging role or would probably be Cyborg, Vic Stone, because there's so much to it. Like there is so much to it, not just to the character, to the world, to the story, to the show, etc. Complete body transformation, like everything as an actor that you would go through for a character of complete like the actor, you know what I mean, and the accent, you know, having to all of that,
think about that.
like complete transformation. So that was definitely the hardest, but also, and I'm gonna go on something else afterwards, but also, what I've enjoyed the most, because it was every kid's dream, wasn't it, to be a superhero, bro?
Right.
And there's not many black superheroes, and to be able to play, you know, if not the most prolific black superhero.
Yeah, bro, you can only name like 5 big black superheroes.
Yeah.
But from childhood, Cyborg is the first one I'm gonna mention.
Yeah.
Who else?
And you played one.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
So that
glory to
was a
God.
dream, you know what I mean? So you pinch yourself every now and then, it's like, and just give thanks and realize, really deep it, like flipping out, like I'm playing a superhero, I'm playing Cyborg.
Like Mango's Comic Con and that.
Yeah. I just went Dragon Con. Dragon Con was nuts. Yeah.
We said, was it easy decision to take the role?
Was it an easy decision? It wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't.
What happened?
And as I look back now, I kind of like, was you out your mind? But this is, but you know, in hindsight, after you've kind of lived in it, you've achieved
Hindsight
everything.
makes perfect vision, bro.
yeah,
It's-
but at the time it was difficult because of the company and with all of comedy, with all the productions and the whole entity. I didn't feel like I could leave the company for 6, 7, 8 months of a year and it not die.
Yeah.
It was just me and Percy just doing what we're doing, and you know, it was like Percy had gone to, you know, Wizards vs. Aliens and then Innocence and stuff like when we was, but the company was never in the way that it was, you know, and I handled a lot of the business acumen side of things before Taff came into the company, and so a lot of those things I wouldn't be able to dedicate myself in the same way, and I knew that I could act at any time, I could always do this, but the company, you only get one opportunity at that time to build something that is so great, to continue it, and that's the legacy. And so it was like legacy versus like what I thought at the time was like my selfish want and need and desire. But then I realized that this also was part of my legacy, and it's all kind of, you know, hand in hand. And God will always make a way, and that's why God blessed Taff coming into the company when he did, and off the back of that, it was, you know, perfect transition. But no, originally I actually turned it down. I turned it down a few times. I turned down the audition first and foremost before. And then it came back full circle. I turned down the audition again. I saw 8 months filming and it was just too much. And then ended up, my agent in the UK then said, hey, look, the casting have come to the UK and said that they really want to see you. I said, look, I already told, you know, the US team, WME, that I don't want to do this. And then my manager came, he's like, yo, like, you sure you don't want to do this?
You need to do this.
And I said, it's mad when you comes in so many different directions. It's like God saying, hey,
brother,
I'm not going to let you pass this up.
Yeah.
So I let it down 3 times. And then I had done The Purge. And then The Purge came out. It came out in 2018, 4th of July. And then I got an email on the 6th of July. So opening weekend, Greg Berlanti, the prolific juggernaut producer who's produced just everything, all of those DC shows, all the, you know, CW shows, etc., HBO Max, superhero shows, blah, blah. He basically had seen The Purge and he said, that's my Cyborg.
Wow.
And then so he emailed WME again and said, hey, look, like I want this kid to play CYBORG. It's my CYBORG. So then my agents came back full circle and they said to me, hey, look, Greg has reached out. I know you said that you don't want to do this because of the time and blah, blah, but like, you know,
You'd be
he's
silly
reached
not to
out.
this
Like
time.
just meet with him. And even still at that time, my whole thing was, well, I've got my production company, network, I'm a producer. I really want to meet with this juggernaut producer just to learn, connect with him.
Yeah.
And that was really my intention going into the meeting. So I said, yeah, I'll Skype with him. Why not? Also, Jeff Johns, who's one of the big producers of DC, you know, integral to Batman vs Superman, Justice League, etc. So I just really wanted to meet these two guys. And then I get on the call.
Man didn't even want the role.
Man said, nah, I'm on the road.
Man said,
Let me just network.
Chat to these man.
That's what it was about. I get on the call, and then Jeremy Carver, my showrunner, was also on it, and they just sold me, you know, what this was going to be. And I also said to them, look, like being in TV for so long away from my company is like, it's too much, it's too far. And as much as I really would love to play this role, I do believe that I'm going to get another opportunity to play a superhero. This is not the last one. You're not the first, and it's not going to be the last. And off the back of that, he said, well, if you want to do movies, this is what's going to set you up to doing the movies. Like, do this, and then you're going to be able to go into that world. It's going to be, you know,
It's easier stepping
10,
stone.
15 mini movies in itself. Like, you're going to, and I wasn't thinking about any of that stuff. But at the time, I also was thinking about, I was praying actually and thinking about going back to drama school. Because after being at the Brit and then doing Man and the Wall for so long, I felt like almost like the smartest guy in the room for a little while, where I'm just producing my own work. I'm not really learning much more in terms of the craft, but I was also obviously learning about the producing side of things. And I got to the place where I was like, I really want to go back to drama school, and I'm thinking about doing that, or classes or something.
I remember that.
Yeah. And then obviously this came along, and I've been in drama school for the last 4 years. The best drama school you could possibly be in, honing the craft. And so, you know, and then TAF comes in, I'm in drama school, and I'm playing a superhero. God gave me all of those things in one, and here we are. So, yeah, man. So I say all of that to say, yeah, that was my favorite role. But at the same time, also, I've got like a huge spot in my heart for The Purge, for playing Isaiah. It was my first ever Hollywood role,
You went in.
the first breakthrough, and the first manifestation of, look, I want to go from the UK to the US, and manifested that opportunity. First time I did the American accent in a project. Gerard McMurray, who completely rooted for me, and you know what I mean? Like, Jay knows the story of that whole thing and how that happened. And
with the visa thing.
with the visa.
That was mad, bro.
Yeah.
I know you said it on a few other podcasts, but yeah, it was a madness.
Yeah. You know, like, I'll give the short of it.
Short
Basically,
story.
you know, it was very difficult to get my visa. And I ended up getting an opportunity to basically book the role. Ended up booking the role, but even before that, Jay's in
LA.
in LA, with me, and even you came to the audition as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
You came to the audition.
Yeah.
So I went to the audition, and then when I went to the audition, Jay was there, and then I came out, and I feel like I said to you, I something in me, I feel like I know I got that. Like that's my role. I just felt it in my spirit.
Yeah.
2017.
And then ended up doing it. Then casting director ends up coming back to my manager saying that I got a meeting with Gerard. I do the meeting, but he wants to know that you can do the American accent. So I end up going on the Skype. I'm like, hey, cool, I'm ready to audition. I'm in the American accent because I stay in it. And then he's like, hey, man, you could just like, you don't gotta do that, man. He's eating a bowl of cereal. And I'm like, this is so casual. I'm confused. And he's like, yeah, I just want to tell you that you gonna be a star of my movie, yo, man. You gonna be a star of my movie, man.
Wow.
And I'm like, raw, I thought this was an audition. He's like, nah. So then I ring my agent, my manager, and tell them I got the role. And they're supposed to be telling me that. And I was like, well, he just told me, like, he's gonna obviously talk to casting. Got the role now. And then ended up needing a visa. Didn't have a visa, but they had said to casting that I had my visa. I hadn't. I just basically, all of my paperwork was, you know, getting processed. So I had to then reach out to everyone that I knew, all the casting directors, producers, actors, etc. At 10 a.m. LA time, which was 6 p.m. London time. And by the end of that day, I had to get all of my letters into production. And I had about 3 people that responded: David Walliams, Lenny Henry, and
some big names.
Catherine Tate.
Wheeling it off.
Yeah, and they all sent them back. And so I was able to send it off. And then 2 weeks later, which was the deadline that we needed to get the visa in, we got a request for more evidence. So we had 2 days to actually get the visa, but they said, we're not giving you the visa, and we're not giving you the visa, but we need more evidence of your extraordinary ability. So we need to now send more stuff in, and we got to reprocess it. But during that time, I had received more letters, so I was able to then send a request for more evidence. But the issue was that there was 2 days to go, and when you refile, it takes another 14 days. So they basically said, look, it's not going to happen. It's borderline impossible. But something in me was just not willing to let it go. I was praying about it every day. We was waiting for the visa. Me, Jay, and Charles was in the apartment waiting for it to come.
And that visa weren't coming in that moment.
And it weren't coming.
Me and Charles went to eat. We come back, see Jav packing his bag. And he's like, what? Yo, the visa came, yeah? And he's like, nah. It's not here yet, but it's coming.
Yeah,
yeah, bro.
And it was just, bro. It was just active. It was just like that.
You knew it was. That
was I knew it was knowing.
It was knowing.
Because why are you packing your suitcase?
Yeah, why are you packing, bro?
And acting upon that if you just believe.
Yeah.
You're a madman.
You wasn't even leaving. Like
I wasn't leaving. There was no
this
flight
brother
booked.
was packing.
Yeah,
crazy, bro.
Different.
Crazy. I can't even.
My spirit kind of like
spirit
goes
took
off.
over,
It
spirit
just
body.
Like I mean even now, just going back and revisiting that.
That changed my life. That moment there.
Yeah.
That made me believe.
Yeah.
No, it made you know.
Yeah. That's it. So I start packing the case, and you're heading back at this point. Or Charles was heading back.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
No, you're leaving, yeah.
And they got to drop me to the airport. We got IHOP in the morning.
Yeah.
I remember FaceTiming you.
Yeah.
So we're in IHOP now. So I packed my suitcase, and I put it in the car as well. He's leaving to go back to London. And in my mind, I'm leaving to go and do this movie. And then we stop at IHOP to get some food. And this is the day where, things have got extended, push. Look, we're going to try. Gerard on the other end is like, man, I want you. Like, I'll keep pushing him, bro. But there's only so much I can do. Yeah. So it gets to the point where it's the last day. And at 3:15, if it's not coming, then that's it. It's peak. And it was the last day I said it's coming in. Pack the suitcase. We're in IHOP. And then I get a call. And I remember the time, it was 2:57 p.m. and I get a call. And because of that time, I assumed that was Stephen, the producer, who was calling me to say, sorry, it's not going to go your way. Yeah. But he calls me to tell me that he doesn't know how this has happened, but the visa is being processed and we need to get you on the first flight to Canada so we can get you into your visa appointment. And we can get you on the next plane. And I said, don't worry, it's all good. I'm already packed.
I'm at the airport.
I'm there. Basically
at the airport.
Already in Canada.
I'm on the way. Charles was able to take back the car. We went to the airport and that was it. Boom.
Crazy.
So, so that has just like, that really made me know that I'm meant to be here. You know what I mean? And there's been a few other things, like even when I was trying to buy a house in London and it was just so difficult. Things were getting shut down left, right, and center. And when things are just not working out for you, you got to listen. You got to understand, like, what is it? Why is that happening? And you got to reflect. And it was because I've always said I wanted to live in LA, but then I'm trying to buy a house in London. Why? Because that's what you do. When you're where you're from somewhere, you should buy a property there. That's what they will say. Yeah. But why am I going to go and do that and then go and live in LA? Nah, and God didn't want that. He wanted me to go and buy a property in LA. And so that transitioned me, pushed me to LA, and I went and bought my place there smoothly to the point where I wasn't even supposed to. I didn't have no tax returns because I hadn't worked there yet. I didn't have no credit, but God moved, bro. And again, it was a miracle.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man. It's actually mad.
Your life sounds mad, like busy. Obviously, you're on set, you're getting hair and makeup, you're doing your business calls. What do you do to unwind? What do you do to relax?
He gets battered on fever.
You're the only person that I'll give it to him. Yeah,
he's a FIFA god,
on FIFA, but he batters everyone on FIFA.
Yeah.
But like even today, like slap Lawrence, slap Shaki, whoever's next can get it as well.
No, the one thing I'll give him when it comes to pool and table tennis.
That's his thing.
Yeah,
that's his thing.
Don't rap with him.
Yeah.
Like, when I play him so many times at pool and table tennis, I was like, yo, let's play some FIFA, man.
You gotta do something to start winning again.
You need to have spirit. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, games. I love bowling. And then films. But you know what? For me, I get charged off of people. Like, as much as, a lot of people get depleted by being around too many people and stuff like that, I get charged off of that. Conversation, hosting, parties, events.
Socializing.
Socializing feeds me. And that's why I love to be around a lot of people. And I love, entertaining, and that is what helps me to ironically unwind. Being with people and socializing. That's my alone time.
It's funny, yeah, because you've been like, when would you say the year that you started to do the acting? Like, what's the first year that you say, like 2011, 2010, 2009, that it started to really go well for you? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
You mean in terms of working, a working actor? You mean when I made the decision to act?
Working, so you're starting to be seen on screen by people now. People can see your work. Like, what's that first year? Because from that first year to now, you've been in everybody's faces. So much that, bro, whenever we step out, it's just long. It's just so long, bro. Especially when you and Percy are together. So like, you've literally had like whatever year that you're gonna say, like a 13-year, 14-year.
Well, my first professional role was in 2012, because Man on the Wall was 2011 Christmas Eve. And then obviously 6-7 days later was 2012. So did I just say 2011 Christmas Eve or 2012?
You said 2011 Christmas Eve.
Yeah, 2011 Christmas Eve. And then 2012, that was the year that it really blew up. And then Youngers. So that was my first.
Youngers.
Yeah, so Youngers came.
Bro, Youngers.
And also, I can't remember what was first. I think maybe Casualty was before.
Casualty, I remember that. Casualty was the first one.
First big thing other than Youngers.
So Casualty in Cardiff, that was my first one. So 2012. So what are we now? 2022. So 10 years. A decade of
10 years strong, bro.
Yeah, 10 years strong, man.
And you just got
10
started.
years strong and just getting started.
You just got started.
It's mad.
Crazy.
It's mad. Who would you say is your biggest inspiration in terms of acting or business or in life?
My biggest inspiration, first of all, my parents, my mum and dad. I'd say I get my mind from my mum and my work ethic from my dad. And for a combination of the two, that's what kind of, turned me into the beast that I am. And then outside of that, I would say Will Smith. Will Smith was someone that I looked to as a model of what I wanted to do, how I wanted to make people feel, and the types of roles and the type of career I wanted to have. Not only but career, but in terms of reflection of mindset and all of that. I won't be slapping people on the stage. Unless I had to. but everything bar that, what I mean, was a perfect, transcendence. And that's definitely the three inspirations that kind of are most integral. And then after that, your friends and everyone, your family, and seeing what everyone's doing. And even I remember, like, as you lot heard him snoring earlier, I remember going around and me and my boy Caspian going, and this whole era of when we were, I was doing certain roles, right? And I don't even know what the specific era was of, like, probably can kind of, like, talk about it within, like, role to role. But walking around London, going to these auditions, and me and Cass, like, we'd both be going to auditions, meeting up in London. Like, you got an audition, I got an audition. Like, cool, I'm gonna go here. And there was a real, like, train of success within that brotherhood of just kind of collating and building all of those, and that felt like a real pivotal point of, like, just transcendence for me, Yeah.
And we would get ready together. And like stay at your house. And everything was done from that place.
The Red Room.
The Red Room. And then the deliberations and the decisions would happen. Like a debrief at the end of each day. And so we would spend maybe 3 or 4 days straight together. Just studying. Doing lines. I'd be singing my songs. Like, and we really, really got a big payoff. I got into my West End debut the same day you got Youngers.
Crazy.
I
remember you, man, in the Red Room. You man used to be going through the audition. Like, no, not even in the Red Room sometimes. You man would go in the other room because Mum used to be in the Red Room. So you man would go into the other room and be practicing and doing auditions and that. Like, that was
and to the point where there were certain roles where Cass had done so many of the lines, you would then watch them knowing what was about to be said, because that whole period was a real transcendence and was a lot of prayer, a lot of just focused energy and concentrated energy on just building, And you look back and you look at like, one thing I'm trying to do now is look at the key ingredients as when you saw success, like who was you around? What was you doing? What like all of those things are things that you need to repeat and that you need to recreate because that is what created your success.
Yeah.
So these are, man, like these, and as I'm stepping into this next era, this next decade, I'm looking at the same thing and knowing that this is the end of an era for me. And I'm about to step into a new era, and especially when it comes to now my own films, the producing, etc., etc. So I'm really excited for what's to come, and yeah, it's been a journey so far. So imagine what's about to be.
What's next for Jovan Wade?
What's next?
Oh no, I could tell you. Me and Jovan's been doing a lot of writing. Got some production coming.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's a script about two brothers throwing parties.
The Chuckle Brothers.
Yeah. No, I'm playing, bro. Go on.
Yeah, the next era for me has to be it has to be everything that I've been setting up to do. Like one thing that I would say is like off the back of Sharo's story, the success that came from that and the opportunities that came from that that I wasn't ready for was a big learning curve for me. And one thing, and I say learning curve, and I wish that I was in a different situation at that time, but I don't, because that's what prepared me. And that's all about to happen again.
What kind of situations and
in the sense of basically, every TV production company in the UK were like knocking on our doors, wanting to work with us.
What, to produce or to act? To
produce.
Oh,
but to like what do you want to do next? Like what's the thing? Like, can we make Sharo's story, or do you have anything else? We had no movie scripts. We had no, like, we was writing TV stuff and online formats, etc.
Yeah.
And then we learned from that and took to that to then decide, okay, we're going to create our own slate of films for the next 10, 20 years, TV shows, etc. So those have all been created now. They've been in the works, and we've built a whole slate of projects that when we're ready to go, it's going to be back for the next 10, 20 years. And that run that Will had when he did, from Pursuit of Happiness to I Am Legend to I, Robot, to all of these different Transit Men in Black, etc., that run's about to happen. And that's what I believe is the next decade of transcendence for Jovan Wade and for everything that God's got in store for me. And he's been preparing me for that. And I'm looking forward to it, mate.
Yeah, and you man keep talking about the next decade. Like, you keep talking about it so much that you've already, it's going to happen.
It's not a belief. It's
yeah.
No, it's knowing, yeah.
But what's mad is, like, if you really did had the scripts that you have now, when Sharo's blew up, that would have been gone. Whatever you lot had would have just been gold.
Exactly.
Time. And it's not even, sorry to cut you.
Go.
I just got passionate real quickly. Yeah. It's not even about what you lot are creating so much. It's also about your faces are the product as well, I don't think some people understand, like, certain people's faces are the product. Will Smith, his face is a product, bro.
Yeah.
If you see it in it, you just go and watch it. You and Percy together, your faces, people just watch it. If you see you two together, boom, like, I'm checking it out.
Yeah.
And when they check it out, it's always going to be good, because quality in our family, and quality in our friendship circle and what us man do is always top.
Yeah.
So, like,
I was going to say, that's crazy. A testament to what you have done and the work you've put in. It wouldn't be that if the quality wasn't there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel like, if you look at, especially in the UK, like, I feel like you lot's next, the way you lot talk to me about this next stage, it's not belief, it's knowing. I feel like, even though we feel like what you've done is so much good stuff for the UK and its legacy, I feel like this next stage is where you go from, all right, cool, we're doing this thing, to, okay, moguls.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Mogul time.
100%. Our group chat is called Monopoly for a reason.
Yeah.
That's what's about to take place. And we modeled that off of, Will Smith and being the face of your product and producing, but Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson. What they've done in their production companies, like, you spoke about inspiration earlier. Like, at this point in my life, inspiration between Will Smith in terms of in front of camera, but Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson and what they've set up with their production companies and them creating their own world and their own brands and their own, is what it is. And yeah, we got some amazing stories, bro, and some amazing films that are just like, it's going to blow people's minds. And we're also working on something on the ground and some more shorts that are going to, take the steam just like Sharo did and all of that. That's going to I'm saying it now. I'll say it all to you lot, so you can so we can play it back when it happens. We're going to recreate what we did with Sharo's story. We're going to build that buzz again, the same buzz. Everyone's going to then come. And then off the back of that, we're going to have had all of these movies and TV shows that we've been writing and creating since Sharo's story in 2018 to then for the next 10, 20 years be producing and creating and building out this whole transcendence of slate of films and TV shows that we have. So we're just going to recreate what we've already done, but this time being ready for it. So be ready for it.
Crazy still.
Crazy.
Mad.
Well, we can come to a close there.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for taking the time out, and obviously you're here to relax a bit. Taking time out to come and speak with us.
And thanks for having me.
Yeah,
thank
man.
you, bro.
It's been lit.
And well done to both of you, because
Thank you,
the consistency has been sick. And that's what people don't realize. You have to be consistent in everything you do.
Yeah.
And what you created, the brand, and you talk about this stuff and it comes easy to us, but you have to really, because it looks so easy, it doesn't mean that it is easy. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and there's a lot of thought, and there's a lot of chats and messages and what do you think of this and should this blah 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 and blah blah. You know what I mean? So well done to you guys.
Thank you,
and just continue to build in everything that you're doing, and know that in the same way that we was in that same position of, okay, we're building and we're doing what we're doing, and at the point in which you might not be where you want to be, but you will get there. And the only way that you don't is if you give up. And so as long as you continue, then you're going to get there. And so it's been an honor to be able to be a part of this legacy and be a part of this journey that we're going to look back on in years to come and be like, yeah, remember when we had them 2 Maggys in, and when it was just,
you heard it here first, man.
First.
2 Maggys in. Come on.
2 Maggys in.
We've been your boys, Jay Montel.
Yeah, I've been your boy Jay, aka Sexy Chocolate.
We're not gonna do this every time, bro.
AKA
Every time. He keeps adding a new one every time, bro.
With the blonde dreads, you know what I'm saying?
Get
I've
on
been your boy
there,
Jay,
AKA.
man.
Shut up, nigga. But yeah, make sure you go and follow the podcast if you haven't already. Make sure you download the episodes for us. It really helps.
Sir.
Make sure you go and like the video on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on TikTok at 2 Maggys in. And yeah, just keep sharing, man. Thank you for listening. If you're here for this far. And yeah, we're just going to keep delivering the content for you, man.
Also, man, Jay, shout out your Instagram. Anything you want the guys to check out or follow.
Follow me on Instagram at Jovan Wade, Joivan Wade. On all platforms, and check out if you're into fitness, if you want to, or actually no, better question, if you're into health, which everyone should be, then go to www.xteh.com and check out Wade's workout with Train Ever Hard, the fitness app, the program to get you right, and lots more coming. Stay tuned. Wall of Comedy, Wall of Productions, Wall of Entertainment. Booyah.
Hey. We out.
Yeah, you done that a lot of times still. But yeah, man. Alright, cool. We've been your boy Sexy Chocolate, aka.
Oh, sharp, man. We're out.